Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge?
Hello and welcome to Binge or Purge streaming reviews. I'm your host, Dimo. My co-host is Joe Taylor. This is episode 73.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Here we are. You got something to start off with?
Yeah, Netflix. They released their budget for the year coming up for 2021.
$500 billion.
Pretty much. 17 billion.
Wow.
They're like going all out because they basically couldn't spend a lot of money last year because of COVID, so there wasn't the productions. Right. So now they're like, they're full speed ahead with just spending money. Where does that money come from? I mean, seriously, it's just subscription services? That's it? Like $13.99 a month and that does it?
I thought it was $9.99. Don't most people share it with like 3 other people anyway?
That's what I mean. Oh, and they do want to crack down on sharing as well.
Okay.
They're going to have something that's going to show up when you log in, and it's going to be like you have to say, like, do you want to deal with who's using your thing right now or not? And you click on, I want to deal with it later, and you just keep clicking on it, I want to deal with it later or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's working. They said they don't want it to seem intrusive, but they do want to crack down on, password sharing, account sharing.
Well, that's not great news for us, but...
Whatever. Come on. Who cares? Everybody does it,
Actually, that's the one that we don't share, I think.
We don't share that.
Yeah.
I don't really share anything with anybody, really, except HBO Max.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know, right. HBO Max, my girlfriend has an account, and my best friend has an account. But, you put their names in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, ooh, I'm secretly giving it away. It's like they're right there. I put their names in the thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not worried about it.
It just helps them sell ads. As long as you make a separate profile, it helps them sell ads, so they don't care.
Great. So let's get into something, man, because that's what we're here for. Go.
Okay, so I watched this series that no one besides me, and I guess you now, I just learned, have even heard of, called Wayne on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
This is a 10-episode series. They're about 30 minutes apiece. It is gritty AF. I mean, from the first 5 minutes of this show, you know what it is. So watch 5 minutes, and if you don't like it, you're not going to like the rest of it either. But the thing I like about this show, well, let me back up. Let me give you the overview of what this show is. This is about was he 16 or 17? Yeah, 16-year-old kid. They call him in the blurb a dirty Harry with a heart of gold. But he's this kid that just can't help sabotaging himself, and he's violent. He likes to fight people.
He's a troublemaker.
And his mom left with some guy and took this Trans Am. His dad dies, and he wants to go get his car back. So that's kind of the whole arc of the first season. He meets this girl, also, I guess, around the same age, 16 or something.
Dell.
And talks her into going with him. It takes place in Boston, so it's very Mark Wahlberg-y.
Right, but it's a road trip show.
It's kind of a road trip show, but it's with some serious Boston. I'm surprised. It's very Wahlbergian, the way that the characters behave. A lot of violence, a lot of fighting, a lot of blood, a lot of biting.
It's a dark comedy.
It's very dark. But I'll tell you what, man, the writing, I think, you write and stuff too. I think one of the hardest things as a writer is writing conflict, because you always want to get your characters out of trouble. That's like the natural inclination, because you care about them. You don't want them to get into trouble. Whoever wrote this show, they get these guys up a tree and then they throw rocks at them. I mean, that's the whole show, is just a cascade of complications, if I can quote something from a writing class. This was created by Sean Simmons. I looked at his IMDb. Probably haven't heard of anything else. He's been doing other stuff, but it stars Mark McKenna and Clara Bravo.
Isn't that Sierra Bravo? Ciara?
Well, some people pronounce it Sierra, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Okay, sorry.
Right? I think she's the reason to watch this show.
Yeah,
She was the best part of it for me. Because even when it got a little tedious for me in the middle, those middle episodes, I was like, eh. Like Dean Winters plays her father.
Yeah, now
And they have these two, like, doofuses as their, like, twin older brothers. They're, like, complete buffoons. I got a little tired of those guys.
yeah, there were some tropes. Now, let me back up for a second. So Dean Winters, in case you don't know, is the All-State Mayhem guy. He was also on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
30 Rock.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah. He
He's
works
so
all
good.
the time.
Yeah, he's really good. Everyone in this thing is good.
The performances are pretty good. And Mark McKenna, that guy's British.
Oh,
Did
no
you know
kidding?
that? Of
No, I didn't
course.
know that.
Surprise, surprise. Another Brit taking American jobs.
That's what they do.
He's Irish.
Yeah, he's great. I don't know if there's a lot of people. Well, Mike O'Malley you would recognize, but other than that, a lot of fresh faces.
Yeah.
But this thing is dark, but also very funny. But there's also a lot of heart to it. The kid's dad dies and he goes to try and get his car back from his stepdad in Florida. That's the whole premise of the first season. There is something to that. But
It does get a little over the top, though.
yeah, some of the characters, like that guy in Florida with the gold teeth that owns that,
right.
It gets a little Tiger King-ish, but I mean that is Florida.
There's
I
a lot
think.
of white trash elements in this.
As far as I know, the Florida flag is just an alligator with two husbands,
Pretty much, right?
or something.
I
but
don't know.
This is Wayne on Amazon Prime.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead.
This was a YouTube show.
Oh, really?
Right? So it was one season on YouTube, and then it didn't really get canceled so much as YouTube, their subscription service went bye-bye.
The
So it had
YouTube Red or whatever. Yeah.
YouTube Premium, whatever it was, right? So the show was in limbo, and Amazon Prime picked it up to test the waters and see if they want to pick it up for season 2. Now, I read an article before I came over here that was published 3 weeks ago saying the state of season 2 was still up for grabs. They didn't really know it was going to happen or not. If it does come back for a second season, you're looking at late 2022 at best.
Right. So they're not shooting it now.
No.
Okay.
On social media, McKenna there and Bravo and the creator of the show, they've been pushing it like, watch Wayne, watch Wayne. And I guess it got pretty good numbers for Amazon, but they haven't made a decision.
Well, they didn't promote the crap out of it like they do with some of their other stuff.
No. I only knew about this because listener Nick tweeted about it. He goes, oh, this is great. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. If you stick with it, it's got enough gems in it. But I don't think it was awesome. There were moments where I was like, I'm dozing off here. Granted, I did watch this typically at like 1 a.m. So that's the only time I could get to my TV when I was dealing with a lot of stuff. And a lot of the TV I watched was like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
So you were kind of checked out.
So I
by
was
then.
kind of checked out, but I did it in, spent like 5 days watching it, right? I might do 2 a night here, 1 a night there, depending on the mood I was in. But I did it about a week. Still good enough to say it's a binge. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. And now I don't want to lean too heavily on Rotten Tomatoes because then otherwise, what do they need us for? But it does have 100 with the critics and 98 with the audience. So it's pretty highly rated. I really hope it comes back for season 2. Again, watch the first 5 minutes. It's not for everyone because it is a little bit gritty. But this is one of my favorite things I've seen in a while. So I'm going to give it a binge as well. What else you got?
I don't have anything. Well, I mean, I have something, but now you're up, remember? Do you read the things? We make a schedule here. You're next.
It says right here, in and of itself, Dimo.
Oh, it does. Hey! I'm the one that's not reading.
We should print these schedules out and set them right in front of our faces. Oh, wait, we do.
Okay. I got something. It's tricky to talk about.
Why?
Because if I say too much, I'm giving away the fun of it. So I'm going to have to, walk the tightrope here. This is a movie. It's basically the filming of a one-man show. It was an off-Broadway show that ran from 2017 to 2018. It's called In and of Itself. It's now streaming on Hulu. It's from 2020, and it's 1 hour and 31 minutes. And that's all I can say. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I can say a little more.
This is a one-man show they just filmed.
It's a one-man show they filmed. Frank Oz directed it.
Fozzie Bear.
Yoda,
Yoda.
among
Grover.
other things.
Grover.
Miss Piggy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Piggy.
You know, we got to watch that Muppet Guys Talking documentary and talk about that sometime.
We got to. Put a pin in that for sure. Write it down right now.
I am.
Thank you. And then share it with me because I'll forget.
Okay.
Now, this is, to say in the most general terms, a show about an illusionist.
A magician.
A magician. And I'll leave it at that. His name is Derek Del Guardio.
Guadio.
Guadio?
As it's spelled, it looks like Del Guadio to me.
Okay, Derek Del Guadio. Thank you.
It's Del Gaudio.
You know me. I can never get names. But of course, I got Sierra.
What
You
was
had
the guy with
What'd you just call her?
Liv Shriver?
Liev Schreiber. Don't get me started on Ben Affleck.
yeah.
So right now, this has 100% with the critics and 90% with the audience. This was recommended to me from a couple friends, and they were like, we don't want to tell you about it. Just watch it. I had seen it discussed on Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert went to the live performance, liked it so much, he executive produced this movie. He helped put it together. Okay. Everyone should watch this. If you have Hulu, you gotta watch it.
It's free with Hulu.
Free with Hulu. Like I said, it's an hour and 31 minutes. It's emotional. It's surprising.
Really?
And I don't know anybody that's seen it that didn't truly take something from it and be kind of wowed by it.
Now, does he do magic tricks in the show, or you can't say? Does he pull a hat out of a rabbit or anything?
A hat out of a rabbit? Yeah. That would be a trick I'd like to see.
It's like an Amazing Jonathan trick.
Yeah, he's an illusionist, okay? He's a magician, so there is that element, but it's strangely about the mystery of identity.
You seem like you're getting emotional already.
No, I watched it a couple months ago, and it was one of those things where I was like, I can't wait to get back to the podcast to talk about this, even though I know I can't really say too much about it. But it will surprise you, and you will like it. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody will like it. They'll find something in it that speaks to them. And I'm not going to say, ooh, it's a magic show, because it is and it isn't. That's already too much. You got to go in and not know anything about it. And that, I think, will be the real treat for an audience member.
Yeah, well, that's the service we provide here at Binge or Purge, is not telling anyone about anything.
Right, exactly.
So that's perfect.
So this is, in and of itself, with Derek Del... Finish it for me.
I'm going to go with Del Guadio.
That's it. Thank you.
No, that's not it. It's Del Gaudio.
Binge, binge, binge.
I might watch that tonight.
Go for it.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not a big commitment, man. It's an hour and 31 minutes.
I've got that
much time. And then you're done. Everyone's got that much time, all right?
Yeah.
And like I said, you'll find something in it that will interest you. And you go, oh, this is something I've never seen before.
Well, you got me kind of excited about that now.
Yeah. Watch it and then come back next episode and you can bitch me out for how much you hated it, right? You'll be the one person that's like, oh my God, in and of itself sucked.
Why do you say that? That's hurtful, man.
It is hurtful.
I like a lot of stuff that you recommend.
Oh, really? Okay, good. Thanks.
Not the animated robot.
All right.
Star
Hey,
Wars.
leave that for later.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, back to you, Hoss.
Back to me. So I got something that, again, no one has ever heard of.
Oh, wonderful.
That's why I get out of bed in the morning, is to tell people about stuff they would never have come across. This is an Australian show. It's a 4-episode miniseries.
Ooh, 4 episodes. I'm in.
Yeah, they're a little less than an hour each. This is called Safe Harbour.
What's it on?
This is on Hulu.
Oh, a double Hulu.
No. Well, it was on Hulu. I think I actually watched... No, I'm sorry. Let me clarify. It's on Hulu and Peacock.
Okay.
Because I watched it with someone, and she was watching it on Hulu, and I was watching it on Peacock, and the ads are all at different times, so it was a mess. But anyway, Safe Harbour. So this is about this group of people who go out on a sailboat, and they come across a boat full of refugees that are trying to come from, I think it was Indonesia, to go to Australia. And there's like 40 people on this pretty small boat. So they have, and their boat broke down. So they have to decide in the first episode, I'm not spoiling anything here, this is all in the trailer. if they're going to help them, if they're going to leave them, if they're going to go get help, if they're going to try and tow them, whatever. So they make a decision, and years down the road, the people who were in the sailboat, the nice rich white people from Australia, they came across this group of illegal immigrants on the broken down boat. They cross paths again, and it gets messy, as you can imagine. But we're talking about, probably 3.5 hours here. Could have worked maybe better as a movie than, I don't know why you would do a 4-episode miniseries, but started out really good. The premise is cool. The initial conflict is cool. The acting is amazing. It's a little bit depressing at times. I can't really get into a whole lot more than that, but I think I set it up pretty well. And again, 3.5 hours. It's if you're going on a flight or something, download these 4 episodes and watch them, because it is worth watching. It gets a little bit convoluted at the end. I don't think they wrapped it up very well, but
It does get wrapped up, though. It's a complete story.
yeah.
So I'm not going to, get stuck on a cliffhanger now. It's like, oh, come back for season. This is it.
No, it is what it is. And again, if you're going to do 4 episodes that are 40 minutes long, just make it a movie, I think. But they wrapped it up. It's fine. It makes you a little bit uncomfortable. It's very, tense. I would describe it as almost as a thriller. There's not a lot of violence or anything, but I thought it was good. And, we were talking, I think, last week about how a lot of the good content on the streamers now is from other countries.
Yeah.
Because, the U.S. being shut down, for 1.5 years or whatever. This came from Australia, and I think they did a good job. I'm glad we imported this. If you're on a plane, or if you have 3.5 hours to kill,
Or a boat.
Or, well, you're not going to want to go on a whole lot of boats after this, I don't think. But I would say this is...
A pontoon.
Yeah, a pontoon, a canoe, or kayak, whatever it is.
A dinghy.
A dinghy.
Is it good for dinghy watching?
That's your favorite pastime. Anyway, all right, let's cut to the chase. This is a binge.
So that's Safe Harbor streaming on both Hulu and Peacock.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, now this one is not going to take very long, but I want to squeeze it in. As far as comedy specials go, and we usually do an award for best comedy special. Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now what my front runner is.
Oh, yeah?
For this coming year. Nate Bargatze, who we've talked about before. His last special was pretty good. He has a new special, as you hear this, a month ago, The Greatest Average American. One of my favorite comedy specials I've ever seen. It really was that good.
Slow your roll. Really?
I loved it. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. First of all, he works clean, which, as you know, is almost impossible.
And do you know how much I have to struggle not to be a filthy SOB on this show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you still come across that way somehow. It's just the suggestedness. Nate Bargatze, The Greatest Average American. It's an hour or whatever. He is so funny. And now they filmed this during COVID, so it was outdoors. It was actually somewhere down here, maybe outside the Forum or something.
Is it a car show?
No, people are
Okay.
sitting at tables. People
Okay.
have masks on, whatever. But I heard, I think it was Theo Vaughn or somebody was talking about him, and they're like, a guy like that, it doesn't matter if people have masks on or if he's just in a room by himself, he would do the same act. He's one of those types of guys. This was so freaking funny. I've recommended it to everyone. And I should say this is on Netflix, by the way. But it's about an hour. Nate Bargatze, The Greatest Average American. Please watch it. You can watch it with your family, your children, your neighbor's children, whoever.
Careful.
Why are you looking at me
Careful.
like that? Anyway, it's fantastic. This is 100% my front runner so far for the year for stand-up special. So it's a binge for me.
All right. All right, now I'm going to break the rules a little bit. This isn't really a review so much as just this show I want to talk about that I started watching on TBS. Now, I know we don't cover TBS. I know. I'm breaking the rules.
Are you going to talk about a basketball game? What are you talking about?
No, I know. No, I'm talking about Chad. Have you seen anything about this?
Oh,
you must have.
That's Nassim Pedrad.
Nassim Pedrad.
Okay.
That's her show where she's all done up to play a 14-year-old Persian boy, right?
Okay.
And like I thought she was great on SNL.
Yeah.
Her whole thing is she likes, playing funny little men. So this is her project all the way. She's the creator. She writes it. It's all about her. It's her baby. And I've seen 3 episodes so far, and I kind of like it, but it's definitely cringe comedy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this kid is going to say everything wrong. It's like foot and mouth every scene, and they let the scenes play out. Those pauses, those moments of silence where you're just like, is someone going to say something? Please, for the love of God, someone say something to get out of this.
Yeah.
So it really stretches those, humiliating moments out. And after 3 episodes, I kind of see what the character is. He's kind of annoying. You kind of want to slap him a little bit. The gimmick, obviously, is the fact that it's a woman playing a 14-year-old boy. But, she gets away with it because eventually you just think of him as like a kid,
Right.
So it's a good performance in that. I'm going to watch the whole thing. This is not a review. It's just something that just came up on my radar, and I find it to be relatively interesting. I'm still out of how I feel about it. It is cringe comedy, so if that's your thing, you might like it. If not, then stay away from it. Like, if you're like, I don't like the uncomfortable silences and all that, stay away.
Okay. Now, she interests me a lot, number one, because she's gorgeous, but she also she was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She wrote for that show. Her sister was a supervising producer on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And her sister and Kristen Milioti have a show coming out pretty soon on FX, too. So they must have some pretty good agents. They're also super talented, so it's not surprising. But her and her sister both are gems, I think. So I'm looking forward to everything else they're going to be doing.
All right, so that's Chad. It's currently 10:30 Tuesday nights on TBS. It doesn't stream anywhere, so I was like, should I talk about it? Because it's not really a streaming show. TBS, for some reason, I can't find where they stream anything.
It's streaming on TBS.com.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, well, so that's good. They're playing something besides Atlanta Braves games on TBS. So what else? You want to talk about anything you're looking forward to?
Okay, 2 things. First of all, your favorite thing is coming back, Joe, on May 14th. I know you're all excited about it.
Cobra Kai.
No. Love, Death, and Robots Season 2.
Jeez.
Oh, man, I'm psyched. I'm psyched. It's going to be great. Come on, all you listeners that loved Season 1, how can you not watch Season 2, right? I love this stuff, man. Crazy animated sci-fi, nuttiness, horror, whatever. Stuff that's going to make you go, I can't believe I just watched that. In a good way. And
I literally was just yawning.
I know, whatever. I know you're not going to watch it, fine. They had one short in the trailer where there's a dog and there's a robot that's behind him, picking up his poop. I'm in. I'm already sold. Mm-hmm. All right. And then the other thing I'm excited for, it's already out, Season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale. The first 3 episodes have been released already. Now it's going to go week to week. I haven't watched them yet. I am going to watch them very, very soon. I love this show. I thought Season 4 should have been the wrap, but they've already been picked up for Season 5. I'm worried that they're going to milk this thing and drag it out to a point where you're like, just be done with it already. But having said that, I'm sticking with it to the end. Right? Elizabeth Moss, this dystopian future, the whole thing. I've reviewed it before. It's one of the darkest shows you can watch. I don't know where it's going this season, but I hope in a good direction. If it starts to falter, I won't be surprised. Anyway, I'm excited for that. So that's Love, Death, and Robots on May 14th, and The Handmaid's Tale Season 4. First 3 episodes are already available.
Okay, great. One thing I forgot to mention,
Yeah.
Nina Pedrad, Nassim Pedrad's sister, also wrote the Borat sequel.
Really?
Yeah, or she was a writer
How
on
many
it.
people
yeah.
are in this family? Is that
Just
3
the two
girls?
No, just the 2 of them.
Oh. The one that was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, 11, 28, whatever?
Yeah, that's the one who was on SNL, and then her sister writes and produces for a lot of 3 Arts stuff.
All right,
so.
okay.
Anyway,
3 Arts.
I was just trying to change the subject.
Who
from
doesn't work
whatever-
for 3 Arts, right? Just
Yeah.
us. We're the only 2. Hey, 3 Arts, hire us.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be beating down our doors anytime.
Yep.
The one thing I'm looking forward to, now we'll get into this next episode, but Peacock has started to show up to the party with some originals, and they are not bad. Remember we talked about, well, Peacock's just going to thrive off of The Office and Friends and 30 Rock.
No, they're not. Friends is on HBO Max.
Oh, no kidding?
Yes.
Okay. Don't they have The Reunion?
No, that's going to HBO Max as well.
Okay, I stand corrected, but whatever. Personally, I've watched about 400 hours of The Office already on Peacock, but there's a couple originals that have come out that are pretty... here's an HBO Max for you. Pretty good.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that. We'll talk about that some other time.
Great. Is that it?
That's it for me.
All right, I'm done. All right, Joe, where can they find us?
iTunes, Spotify, Listen Note. Basically, anywhere you find podcasts, you'll find us. Google Podcasts, literally anywhere. Email us, please. Binge or Purge podcast at gmail.com. Twitter at Binge or Purge. And on YouTube, by the way. And don't worry, there's no video. Not yet, anyway. Maybe we'll start doing video episodes. I don't know.
We're never going to do that.
I think we should.
No, it's too much work.
I think people want to see...
No.
People want to see our beautiful
I
faces.
don't want to have to put on a hat.
Pants, you mean.
Right?
Okay. It's one thing to do a Zoom meeting with no pants. It's another thing to come over here to my apartment with no pants on, but whatever. I mean, I
I
guess.
enjoy the drive.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. All
I
right.
roll the windows down and enjoy the breeze, as they say.
Okay.
All right. As always, we want to thank Just the Facts. You can follow Just the Facts on Instagram at the Jesse Greer. That's Jesse with a Y. So for Joe Taylor, my name is Dimo. This has been Binge or Purge Streaming Reviews. Thank you so much for listening. We're back, and we hope to see you next time.